At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Hello everyone, meteorologist Mike Krueger here. I've been having, it looks like some weird technical issues here. According to my program software that says I'm streaming out, it says both are offline, but apparently it looks like YouTube is online, and it looks like everybody's online, right? I mean, you got Lisa saying good morning, we got Chappie saying good morning as well, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the program software, but a bummer that we have some kind of weirdness going on there. All right, so let's just kind of move on and see what happens, and we'll hope for the best. We'll hope for the best. All right. So how you doing out there this morning? It's Thursday. We're going to be looking at much calmer winds out there. In fact, I'm looking at the trees this morning. Yesterday at this time, there's my messy hair in the back. Okay. All right. Whatever. Gosh, that's terrible. Oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing. All right. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Come on. All right. So anyways, I was looking out. Is it still there? Oh my God, it's terrible. It looks terrible. That's so embarrassing. Why can't my hair stay down? Oh my gosh. Anyway, so distracting. The winds are not blowing out there this morning. That certainly is really good to see here. I think some of us are a little breezy in some spots here, but overall the winds are just not that bad for most of us here. So how y'all doing this morning? I'm so glad you could join us this morning on Coffee with Krueger here. Tell you what, let's get started. For those of you that a lot of times you can kind of check in, and you can just get a quick look at the forecast here for the day. So let's get you right to it. We're going to take a look at Krueger's Quickcast here for your Thursday, November 7th. It's already November 7th. It's already been a week of November so far. Something to think about there. You can see temperatures a little breezy out at the Reading Airport. Excuse me. At 43 degrees. No, oh my gosh. I'm not looking at the temperature. We're looking at the winds. I was like, what? That's kind of 24 in Chico. No, 24 mile an hour winds. So yes, still a bit breezy in some spots here, especially out at the Reading Airport. A lot of those open exposed areas will probably still see some gusty winds this morning, but the winds should subside through the morning and of course this afternoon as well. In fact, let's take a look at the forecast winds today. Yeah, right. We're talking 5 to 10 miles per hour, especially as we go into the afternoon. Absolutely gorgeous day. What is, oh, I know what's going on. I had the wrong show loaded, folks. I'm back. I have the wrong show loaded. That was weird. Oh my gosh. Thursday? Usually Thursdays are good. I love Thursdays. What's going on here this morning? I don't know. Who knows? Something weird is funky. There's something happening. There's something in the universe that is telling me that I shouldn't have a smooth show today. I don't know. Who knows what's going on? All right, now we can take a look at Krueger's Quickcast. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Here's Krueger's Quickcast for your Thursday, November 7th. And I mean it this time. Here are your current temperatures outside. Yeah, I was expecting to start with the current temperatures, and that's why I got so confused. There you have it. Temperatures in the mid-40s. Places like Reading, Red Bluff, Corning about 47, 37 degrees right now in Chico. Temperatures in the 20s, off in the higher elevations like El Turris at 24. So it is definitely a cool start for some of you in the mountains. You can be sure of that. Temperatures mid to upper 20s for Weaverville, Hayfork, and the coast. 40s and 50s there. Taking a look at that visibility, looks pretty good out there. Let's take a look at the visibility out at Elk Country. This is just north of Trinidad here, and it's turning out to be mainly clear skies to start off the day, and we're seeing that here out towards Crescent City, Harbor District. Oh man, where's George? Where's our buddy George? Doesn't look like he's there this morning, at least right now, but you can see just that beautiful, I mean, look at the colors out there, just off in the distance. I mean, come on. Does it get more beautiful than that? I guess sometimes it can, but it's still very nice. Still loving checking out that photo there, or at least that camera. Hey, you know what? Let's try something new today. Let's try looking at what it looks like right now this morning on the Sundial Bridge in Reading. And it looks like we've got clear skies out there this morning. And look at the trees. Do you see the trees blowing in the wind? I don't. So yes, we're definitely looking at much calmer conditions out there as well. So it's kind of nice to see that. All right. Well, let's get back to our weather computer here and take a look at the visibility once again, and it's all clear out there for most of us. Out the door this morning, yeah, look at this. I mean, lots of sunshine this morning. Temperatures, though, quite chilly, especially in Modoc and the Eastern Mountains, mid-40s for the valley. So kind of a chilly start to the day for many of us. There are the winds we expect this afternoon. And yeah, 5 to 10 miles per hour. We'll certainly take that. Still at about 98% containment for the shoe fire. That's been the case over the last few days, so hopefully they can get that full containment here soon. You can see the storm system that's approaching. Now, the cold front, that blue line that you see approaching Northern California, really approaching the Pacific Northwest, there's a brown line, dashed line behind that. It's called a trough. That is going to be, those will both be joining forces here. And that's what's going to be impacting the weather here sometime this weekend. And we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail in our detailed forecast here coming up a little bit later. But there you can see those temperatures in the low 70s for your daytime highs today in the valley, 50s, 60s for the north and eastern mountains, but for Trinity County and for the inland areas, low to mid 70s there, and you can see low 60s for the coast. A quick look at your 7-day outlook. Well, you can of course see those temperatures dropping over the weekend. So here's what I'm going to say for the weekend. You'll notice I don't have any raindrops from the clouds. You'll notice I don't have any wording for rain in the cloud in the 7-day forecast for the weekend. But here's what I'm going to say for the valley. Saturday night, Sunday morning, there's a chance that the system passing through could possibly bring us a stray sprinkle or light shower. But for the most part, it's dry this weekend. It's Monday. Monday is the day that we're going to see that rain. The coast, I think, has a better chance both Saturday and Sunday, and especially Saturday evening and Sunday, but places like Trinity County. Again, I think it'll all pretty much fizzle out before hitting. But once again, Saturday night into Sunday, Weaverville, Trinity County in general, could see a passing sprinkle light shower. But once again, Monday is the bigger event with the rain, heavier rainfall. Siskiyou County, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains. Now, for Siskiyou and Modoc County, same story. Maybe a chance Saturday night, Sunday morning. But I think the Eastern Mountains, for the most part, may steer clear of any of that activity over the weekend, with most of that rain coming in by Monday. Okay. Oh man, that is a kind of a blown out picture there on a Main Street, Chico. The sun is coming up. There's the dump truck there. Of course, you can see Highway 99 at Neal Road. Let's see if this camera, oh, there it is. It finally refreshed. Looks like smooth traffic flowing well there. Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive. Look at that. Looks like we've got a little bit of traffic out there this morning, but nothing major going on. Want to thank, oh, that's the wrong one. No, it isn't. It isn't. That's the right one. This is taken from Dunsmuir. Looks like probably on I-5 there. Want to thank David Hoffman for sending in this image here. Just a beautiful shot. In fact, I've seen some images on social media yesterday, a lot of clouds that look like this. This is another, what's known as a lenticular cloud that we have kind of over the Dunsmuir area. So beautiful shot there. I want to thank David for sending in that picture. And if you have a picture you want to share, it's very easy. All you got to do is make sure you got the free Weather NorCal app. If you don't have it already, download it for free today. App Store, search for Weather NorCal. Google Play Store, search for Weather NorCal. And before you know it, you're sharing photos and you're seeing it right here on Coffee with Krueger. Well, today is our Thursday. We've got our Thursday Ag Report. And I went over to Kent's Meats and Groceries, and one of the few grocery stores in the area that has a full-on butcher shop. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to really learn more about Kent's Meat and Groceries and more on that butcher side as well. So check it out. Hello everyone, Mike Krueger from Weather NorCal. This is your NorCal Ag Report sponsored by Lassen Canyon Nursery. Now, we are going to be talking meat today, and with me right now, I've got Bo Marvel. He's the meat manager over at Kent's Meat and Groceries. Now, Kent's Meat and Groceries, how long have they been here?
They've been here since 1978.
1978 is when it all started. Was was the meat part of it kind of how it all started? How did it all start?
Yeah, Kent's a butcher. Kent was a butcher by trade and worked with his dad years and years ago, and it all began with me. Yeah.
Okay, so he started kind of doing the butchering thing, and then when did you come into play?
I came into play 20 years ago.
Okay, so
I worked here as a kid too, and my dad also worked here.
Oh, cool.
So I worked here as a kid a little bit, and then I came back 20 years ago.
All right. So what kind of services does Kent's Meat and Groceries offering in that butchering department?
We do a full retail butchering business in our meat counter. We also do a mobile slaughtering business and a full sausage kitchen. We process wild game, fair animals.
So you really do it all.
Pretty much.
So for example, if I go out and I'm hunting, I catch a deer. So I'm a hunter, right?
There you go.
I get a deer, I could bring it here and you guys could butcher it.
Yeah, you bet.
Or if I buy a cow or something, bring it here.
Yep.
All right. So what other service do you have? Do you just kind of get your own meat and then have it packaged for people to come and buy the meat here as well?
Yeah, well, it's not our own meat. We buy our beef from Prather Ranch out of Weed and McDowell.
Okay.
And they come in carcass. And we're one of the only places around that still cuts carcass beef off the rail.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is something you really don't think about a whole lot. I mean, this is not something that's pretty common, right, in a lot of places?
No, it's not. Labor percentages in grocery stores have gone way down. It's easier to do boxed beef.
Okay.
Quality-wise, it's better to do carcass beef.
So you guys are holding on to a full-on tradition here at Kent's Meat and Groceries. And I think that's fantastic. Yeah. So anything else you can think of that you want to mention?
No.
I think you got it. Well, I appreciate your time.
You bet.
Thank you so much, and look forward to get some of that meat right here at Kent's Meat and Groceries, and you know where to go if you need something butchered. That has been your NorCal Ag Report, sponsored by Lassen County Nursery. That was really great talking to him. A great guy, head butcher over there at Kent's Meat and Groceries. And of course, want to again thank Lassen County Nursery for their sponsorship of the Ag Report. Without their sponsorship, it wouldn't be possible. We certainly appreciate their sponsorship, so thank you again. The kind of a fun little side behind the scenes story with that. So during that interview, my watch was going off because I used my phone, believe it or not, to do my recording of those videos. So my phone was going off because someone was calling me. And it turned out it was my wife. And of course, I couldn't answer the phone because I was in the middle of the interview. What I find interesting is that during the interview, I noticed a car that looked like hers that went by on the road. And I was like, is that my wife? Is that Sadie? Did she drive by? And sure enough, we talked a little bit later on the phone after I was done with the interview, and she said, hey, I saw you at Kent's Meat and Groceries. I drove by. She says, I was going to stop, but I saw you were kind of in full-fledged interview, so she just went to her destination. But I thought that was kind of funny because I saw her car go by. I was like, a car just like hers. I'm like, is that Sadie? Oh, yeah, she kind of works in that area, so I suppose it wouldn't be too surprising that she's maybe driving by that area here. And every once in a while, she'll actually stop by Kent's Meats and get some great meat over there as well. So very cool. All right, so that, again, just a fun little story. But Kent's Meat and Groceries, I tell you what, I mean, since 1978, and Kent himself, which, God rest his soul, he started that as a butcher in 1978, and of course just grew this major empire. So just amazing history over there at Kent's Meats and Groceries. All right, well, that was your Ag Report, once again sponsored by Lassen County Nursery. Let's get you to our deeper dive forecast, shall we, which is, of course, sponsored by Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. Once again, I want to thank Wind River for their support of being the main sponsor of Coffee with Krueger. All right, your temperatures right now, you can see about 44 degrees for Redding, 47 for Corning, 37 degrees right now in Chico, one of the cooler spots. It looks like we're getting a little bit of wind sheltered in Chico, which as a result, giving you cooler temperatures. Look at that, low to mid-20s for some of the higher elevations, and you can see about 35 degrees for Shingletown. That's at about 3,500 feet, central Shingletown. Temperatures around 45 for Eureka and 52 degrees in Crescent City. So your headlines, weaker winds the rest of the week. I said that correctly. During my 6 o'clock update, I had a hard time saying weaker winds the rest of the week. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Slightly warmer and dry through Friday. Slight chance for weekend sprinkles and maybe some light showers here this weekend. We'll talk about that in more detail here in a second. And a better chance for rain and mountain snow coming in on Monday. And you know, we've been talking about this chance for rain on Monday all week long. So we've really seen a lot of consistency in those long-range forecast models for Monday. So I think that's really going to be the main event. But look at the wind gusts out there right now. Earlier, it was showing some higher gust out towards Redding. Now it looks like they've kind of died down, but the model is still kind of picking up on some of those stronger winds to the north end of the valley and just north of that. But otherwise, right now, the winds are not that strong, not nearly as strong as they were yesterday. And today, the winds won't be nearly as strong either. There you can see through the noon hour, through the afternoon, we're talking 5 to 10 miles per hour as opposed to the 20 to 30, even 40 mile per hour gusts. Friday looks even better in the single digits, and then looks like maybe picking up a little bit on Saturday, as we do have a system that'll be pushing through, especially late in the day Saturday, and that may elevate the winds a little bit more. Now, I was talking about this a little bit earlier. You've got the cold front right here. This right here is what we call a trough. This will eventually turn into a cold front, essentially. What's going to happen is these two, this trough will catch up with the cold front, and they'll kind of join forces. Now, you can kind of see the trajectory. It's kind of moving up and over the ridge of high pressure, and that's the reason why it's not going to really fully move through us. But this right here is what we got to keep our eyes on here as we go into the weekend, because that's going to be the instability and the showers that we'll be looking at here as we take into the weekend. So let's take a look at that. Here's Futurecast. High pressure, low pressure. Now, this right here, looking at some pretty gusty winds. This was over us the last few days, but we're seeing this whole pattern shift eastward. So as a result, our winds are dying down today. There's actually some warmer air associated with this ridge of high pressure. So temperatures actually increasing a little bit here for today and maybe even into your Friday. But here's what's happening. You see this right here? Nice little line of showers here, but they're not holding on very strong. Now, what's interesting and what's really been challenging for this weekend's weather is there has been zero consistency with these long-range forecast models, both the European and the American forecast model. In fact, what's happened today, they both, like politicians, have flip-flopped. So just to kind of give you an idea, for the most part, this model that we're looking at here has been fairly aggressive with the potential for rain on Saturday and maybe even Sunday. I mean, it's been kind of off and on a little bit here, but really this has been the model that's been saying mostly this week that Saturday, Sunday, this weekend, we'll see showers, and then this one will come in on Monday. But most of this week, the European forecast model has been saying, no, this is not going to be impacting us at all. We're going to be looking at dry conditions this weekend, and this will come in on Monday. Well, now, this model is saying, nope, it's not going to rain this weekend, but the European forecast model is saying, yes, it will. So you can kind of see some of the challenges sometimes we have to deal with as forecasters. And sometimes people say, oh, that's pretty wishy-washy. Well, because sometimes we just don't have the data that we need to really forecast with 100% confidence. And that's why sometimes it kind of turns out that way. So typically with a forecast like this, we have to really wait 2 or 3 days out tops before we can really start going, all right, this is kind of what it's looking like. And I think by tomorrow, we'll have a better chance on Saturday's system. All right, so let's take a look at that. All right, so now that I've just probably thoroughly confused you, here's what I'm expecting. This coming in, this I think will hold on a little bit stronger, possibly. And by Saturday evening into Sunday, it may have an impact on Northern California in the form of maybe a little bit of measurable rainfall for the coast, and then it just breaks apart as it moves over the coastal range. This is a kind of the timing of Saturday evening, Saturday night. As it heads into the valley, maybe a passing sprinkle on Sunday, but overall, I just don't anticipate to see much over the weekend at all. Most of it, if anything, will be on the coast, and even that will be light. It's this guy right here. This is the one I've got my eyes on. So let's take a look at this. See how it just kind of fizzles? Sunday is looking dry as well. As I mentioned, if we were to look at the European forecast model, it would be wet on Sunday. So again, sometimes maybe you split the difference between the two. But here's Monday right here. Boom, there's that rain. And this really has been a consistent solution for the last 3-4 days. So pretty high confidence that Monday's the day that we'll see the bulk of the rain. And we got snow levels probably down to about 4,500 feet. So I put the word cool and unsettled in for next week because that's going to be the story for next week. So watch what happens. Once the system passes, behind it there may still be enough instability for a few stray showers, maybe some snow flurries, but nothing major on Tuesday. Then possibly looking at a break on Wednesday with maybe another chance coming in on Thursday. And then maybe coming in behind that on Friday. Now the timing, the intensity of all this, it is most definitely going to change as we go through next week. But bottom line, cool and unsettled for next week. And what that essentially means is off and on chances for showers, some breaks in the clouds, maybe even at some points even mainly sunny skies. So it just depends on the timing of all of this. But the Climate Prediction Center is putting us in the wetter than normal category. And to kind of give you an idea what that means is, you see these lighter shades of green? The chances of seeing above normal rainfall are much slimmer than if we were in the darker shades of green. This would say, hey, we're going to be looking at a decent amount of rain. This one's saying, probably not so much. All right, so that's kind of what that solution is saying. But at least we're in the green, meaning we've got chances for rain in the forecast. Let's take a look at the forecast rainfall totals. Now, this is coming in from a forecast model, long range. These are not accurate numbers. This is nothing to, basically take home and go, this is exactly what's going to happen. Excuse me. But what we're looking at here, I'd say through next Tuesday. So basically this weekend, and in particular Monday and Tuesday, we're looking at about a quarter to a half an inch. Now, some models are actually indicating that we could see more than this. So on average, maybe about a half of an inch of rainfall for parts of the valley. And look what's happening as you look to the coast. Where, again, right? Typical Northern California weather. Del Norte County, Western Siskiyou, Northern Humboldt. I should call this something. I feel like we need to call this zone here something, because this is so frequent. It happens so often that we see the bulk of the rain in the extreme northwestern portions of the state. And then you head to the south and southern Humboldt County, it's not as much. Now, you see how the numbers just start getting smaller and smaller as you head eastward? I mean, look at this. In Modoc and Lassen and eastern Plumas counties, I mean, you're talking maybe a tenth of an inch of rainfall. So it's one of those situations where heaviest rainfall, 1 to 2 inches of rain, close to an inch of rain, half an inch or more, and then less than that heading eastward. But yeah, this should be called something. I feel like I need to call that geographic location something. I'm going to do that. I'll figure that out one of these days. But in the meantime, let's talk about our temperature outlook. Cooler than normal is what we're looking at here going into next week. In fact, here is your 10-day trend for Redding. Look at that, around 70 today, tomorrow. A slight dip in our temperatures on Saturday, Sunday, but not that bad, mid-60s. And then there it is. Look at that nice stretch of 60 degrees, give or take, for all of next week and into that next weekend. So it's cooling off a bit. Now we take a look at the wave heights. They're going to be pretty low out there for today. Let's take you into Friday. And you'll notice the second half of the day on Friday, we're beginning to see some of these higher wave heights beginning to start to try to move in. So I am anticipating that the wave heights will probably really increase by the time we get into Saturday and then possibly into Sunday as well. So here's the marine forecast for today. Winds are fairly calm out of the east at 5 knots. There you can see your high and low tide. No small craft advisories, no alerts. So that's always good to see. All right, so here is your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Beautiful, beautiful fall day. And I bet you there's some great colors out there as well. So just that whole stretch of Highway 299, gotta love it. Not my favorite drive as far as just the curvy road, but one of my favorite drives with the beautiful, Trinity River. Love it. All right, temperatures low 70s, 75 degrees for Coffee Creek for today. Now, again, I just want you to take note. Saturday night through the day on Sunday, potential for a stray sprinkle light shower for places like Trinity County. Maybe, and of course that's the case down to the south as well. 70 today though for Ruth, 68 for Forest Glen, and about the same here for tomorrow. Southern Humboldt County, I've included a chance there for all of the North Coast, inland and the coast, for Saturday and Sunday. But don't count on much. The main event will be on Monday. 66 for Ferndale, 68 degrees for Hydesville. Fortuna, about 68 degrees. 63 for Arcata, 63 in Eureka. 76 in Willow Creek. And Trinidad, about 68 degrees. Let's take you up to the north. 67 degrees for Smith River, 67 for Gasquet, and there you can see 62 out in Klamath. Now your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Now notice I've, again, no chances for rain there. So as I mentioned, if it holds on to itself, it could bring a little bit of rain Saturday and Sunday for parts of the coast. But as it moves eastward, it'll most likely break apart. So that's why I've got Siskiyou County out of that chance for rain. But if you see a passing sprinkle Saturday evening, Sunday, don't be surprised. Same thing for Scott Valley. 62 degrees for a high in Etna, 61 in Fort Jones. All right, we take you out to central and eastern Siskiyou County. There, of course, you can see about 56 degrees for Tennant, 65 in McLeod, and 58 in Weed. All right, let's take a look at your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. Probably mainly dry through the weekend, quite honestly, with a better chance for that rain coming in Monday, and that may linger on into Tuesday as well. Here's your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast. Quite honestly, probably dry. Although set for Bernie, maybe Saturday night into Sunday as well. 65 degrees for Montgomery Creek, 65 in Paynes Creek today, and Hat Creek, about 60. We take you out to Lake Almanor, Lassen Park, most likely dry through the weekend. Better chance for rain on Monday. Snow levels, by the way, for the Eastern Mountains on average around 5,000 feet. So fairly high snow levels as the system passes through. We take you to the south. Paradise, a high of 65 today, 61 in Mineral, and you can see out towards Susanville, about 53 degrees. All right, here's your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamuth Painting. The temperatures around 70, give or take, for most of us in the Valley. Take you up to the north, 72 for Redding, 73 for the city of Shasta Lake, and 71 degrees in Lakehead. All right, let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Redding. And there you can see, it looks like we're going to see temperatures mid-60s through the weekend. So just a slight drop in our temperatures, maybe about a 5-degree drop for the weekend. And I'm keeping it mainly dry. And then, of course, for your Veterans Day, it looks like it's going to be rainy. If you have outdoor plans, unfortunately, it's going to be a bit rainy out there. Chance for some lingering showers on Tuesday, and then by Wednesday, excuse me, we'll be looking at maybe a bit of a break with a temperature of about 60 degrees. All right, there you go. Usually about 7:30 is when we kind of wrap things up around here, especially if there's nothing too big going on, but for the most part, looking pretty good. Let's see here. Oh, we got some people kind of chiming in this morning. We have got Elaine saying, good morning, Mike. Beautiful, beautiful day. Today, going to celebrate my 36th wedding anniversary. Hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy that cup of coffee. Well, thank you so much. I had a nice little sip while I was getting ready to read your post. And happy anniversary to you and yours. 36 years. That's quite an accomplishment. So yeah, good luck, not good luck, have fun, have a good day. And of course, that's kind of leading into a weekend. Maybe you're planning a nice trip or something, or a little something special for you and your husband. So congratulations to you. We've got Chappie saying, sounds like a nice day for grocery shopping. I don't like driving in the rain. No, I don't think anybody does. I think some people do, maybe. But in fact, you know, my stepdad, I remember as a kid growing up, I remember hearing him say he loves driving in inclement weather. I don't think that was the exact word he used, but, you know, growing up in Minnesota, I grew up in Minnesota, so you were driving in snow. Apparently he loved driving in the snow. To each their own, right? I know I don't. That's a nightmare. Let's see here. What else we got here? Well, Chappie's saying happy anniversary to Elaine, so happy anniversary to you. Well, definitely going to be a much better day out there today. I'm very excited for the fact that we'll be dealing with better weather out there for today. So get out there and make it a great day. I'm going to leave you with a camera coming out at Elk Country. In fact, you know, let's do this first. We'll take a look at Lake Oroville. And looks like the dam is looking pretty good out there. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Have yourselves a great Thursday. We'll see you again tomorrow morning right here on Coffee with Krueger at 7 a.m. See you later.